after the game, it's the aftermath. Win or lose, we still wave our commander's flag. Riding with Wentz under center, making the pass. Jahan Dotson, young rookie, making a splash. That burgundy and gold, that's what we about. Jonathan Allen knocking QBs to the ground. We die hard and nobody can shut us down. Cause this is the greatest show in town. Let's go! Go, 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 go.
What's good, Washington Commander fans? All right. You know how it is, man. So close, but no cigar. The Washington Commanders drop another close game to the Seattle Seahawks, which they had to travel cross country. This game, Washington took the lead early in the game on a Brian Robinson 51-yard touchdown pass from Sam Howell to take go up 7-0 in the first quarter. Then the Seattle Seahawks came back, scored 3, then came back, scored another touchdown. The Commanders, pretty much, they missed the field goal. They missed the extra point in the first quarter. And then they scored 3 in the second. That would make it 9. The Seahawks came back with 2 field goals, made it 9. They went a halftime tie. Came out. Seahawks took the lead on the touchdown, and then the Commanders came back with 3 points, so they owned. Then in the fourth quarter, that's when things got a little bit more exciting. Seattle jumped up on them. Washington came back with the lead. Well, Washington took the lead first, then Seattle came back, and then Seattle scored again, and then Washington came back and tied the game on a he tied the game with a but nevertheless, man, it just seems like the Washington Commanders can't stop nobody. They can't, not on defense. I mean, this is not even on Sam Howell. I mean, for anybody that questions Sam Howell and saying that he's not the quarterback, he's the quarterback. Sam Howell threw for over 300-something yards today, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. Yeah, he was sacked 3 times, but nevertheless, Eric Bieniemy is finding ways to get the ball out of his hand constantly. And he's literally moving Sam Howell around. Sam Howell, well, he did have 1 turnover, that fumble, that strip fumble, which, he was trying to, make a play. But nevertheless, Sam Howell was moving out of the pocket. He was rolling out. Now, again, the receivers didn't help him. I mean, Jahan dropped passes again today. They didn't get no separation from the guys. And great job for Seattle to make sure them guys stayed in front of them. They didn't give them opening. Now, in the second half later in the game, Terry started getting a few catches. De'Armond came up with his first touchdown, which it was a good sight to see. I'll still say they should have put Jamison Crowder in the game a little bit more, kind of used Pringle a little bit more. But John Bates, he did his job. He got a couple of passes in the game. Brian Robinson had a monster game. Brian Robinson, hats off for him in the running and the passing game for the last couple of weeks. He's been that guy for Sam Howell. And there's something Brian Robinson really wanted to do is catch more. Him and Antonio Gibson catching out the backfield is a premium matchup against any linebacker that they play, because Seattle was trying to blitz Jamal Adams and use Bobby Wagner, but they kept getting caught on that swing, especially when Sam Howell rolls out and he looks like he's going to run. He throws the pass so beautifully. So I love that. The setup. And Seattle had a hard time stopping that. Now, they didn't let us run a lot because he didn't let us run a lot because they was more worried about the running game. Now, the running game did open up a little bit. Logan Thomas, he had 40 yards. But you didn't see him until the second half. Curtis Samuel, he kind of like threw the rhythm off of the game. Because for him to be a receiver, he's more like a gadget guy. I'd rather see Pringle in that spot to get a little bit more in the field or play to separate from some of these defenders. We got to utilize these guys to get separation because especially if they focus on Terry, everybody else is going to have to step up. Jahan going to have to do better. I mean, he had a great game last week, but still, you still dropping passes. And, some of these passes could have went for first downs or extra yardage or whatever the case might be. Joey Slide, he missed that extra point, which that could have literally put us ahead because then Seattle would have had to, they still would have had to get a field goal range to beat us. But nonetheless, man, the defense, James Smith-Williams got hurt. Don't know what the extent of his injury because Abada came in the game. Mathis, I didn't know he was in the game. Khalid Hudson, I didn't even know he was in the game. Ridgeway, Andre Jones, I didn't know half of these guys was in the game today. Javid Martin, he played. He had 2 tackles. It just didn't seem like some of this personnel on the field was there. Benjamin St. Jude's getting cooked. I mean, he's getting cooked. Honestly, the defense let the offense down. Sam Howell, like I said, Sam Howell and the offense, they did their job. They got us back in the game to tie. The defense should have played better to stop. Anytime it's under 2 minutes or a minute left in the game, most of the time teams are going to attack the middle of the field. That's what they was going to do. They throw 2 sidelines and they didn't get, it worked and you kept them in the field of play. But then you let Lockett and DK Metcalf work the middle and get all these chunk yardage, and you playing a prevent defense, and you ain't got nobody back there to at least back the ball down or whatever the case might be. That's bad. That's bad business. And Jack Del Rio, to me, I think he needs to be gone, man. He needs to be gone. I mean, Sam Howell's effort today went for nothing because the fact of the matter is, if Geno Smith didn't have a bunch of drops or inaccurate passing or whatever the case may be, they probably would have went for 600 yards total yards on us. And the game could have got way out of hand a long time ago because they was moving the ball. Guys was dropping passes and Geno was under a little bit pressure, but then he ran some. So therefore, the Commanders' defense is not. And honestly, we can't sit there and say, well, hey, the defense is bad. I think the pass defense is way worse than the D-line. The D-line is solid. They stopping the run. They are getting some kind of pressure, even though they ain't got sacks. But the secondary is bad. The cornerback position and the secondary is bad because that's where we giving up all them yardage from. It's from passing. We have the worst pass defense in the NFL right now. And it's not even close at this point. So it makes our overall defense looks bad. So when we say, oh, we have a bad defense, no, we have a bad secondary because we don't have nobody. Percy Butler missed a tackle on Kenneth Walker on that swing pass that went for 60-something yards. If he had made the tackle, that wouldn't have been a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Because they got it. Because when Washington went down and scored, guess what happened? Seattle came back and scored. And then Seattle ended up taking the lead. So the secondary is bad. It's really bad. Jamin Davis, he had a good hit today. But at the same time, the linebackers is not good. Casey Toohill, he only had 1 tackle today. Deron Payne, he played well. He only had 2 tackles, but golly. Then Jonathan Allen got called for a holding penalty. That was uncharacteristic of him. James Smith-Williams, he got hurt. He only had 1 tackle. You know what I'm saying? Cam Curl had 7 solo tackles. Percy Butler had 6. St. Jude's had 5. Mayo, I don't know why he's in the game. Allen had 4 tackles. Javis Martin had 2. Danny Johnson had 3. That's what I'm saying. Khalid Hudson was in there. I don't understand why they didn't have to. You got to look at this. Time of possession is pretty much by even. 29, 33, 30, 27. Total yards, 489 yards. We give up 489 yards. Rushing, they had 120. I mean, to me, that came from a little running and scrambling. We only had 68 yards. They had 27 first downs. Normally, a team that had that many first downs should win the game handily. But they had more first downs than us. We only had 16. They had 8. We had 6. They had 8 penalties. We had 6. We had 1 turnover, and that was that fumble. We were sacked 3 times. They were sacked once. It was 2 sacks, rather. Total plays, they had more plays than us. But we were still in the game. Our defense just couldn't hold nobody. And it's sad to see that we have you can't sit there, like I said, you can't say, well, oh, you know what? Hey, we ain't had Chase or Montez. They ain't got nothing to do with it. The scheme of this defense is bad because I guarantee you, if you got a Marty Martinwig or you got Steve Wilkes, which I wanted Steve Wilkes to be the defensive coordinator for this team this year. Ron Rivera did not fire Jack Del Rio. If he had fired Jack Del Rio and put Steve Wilkes in there, I guarantee you the position, them guys' schemes would have been a whole lot better. The defense would have played a little bit more fluid or different. And then we probably still would have probably had Chase or whatever the case may be. So my thing is this here is that we need a defensive coordinator. We need a defensive coordinator that knows how to scheme and use personnel right. It's just sad, because like I said, if the Patriots had all their defensive players, we probably, as guard off of Matt Jones is, we probably would have been in trouble with them. We beat them 20-17 last week. Then now next week we have the Giants, a game that we should win, but we'll find a way to lose that game. Sam Howell gonna have another great game, but guess what? The defense is going to give up plays. That's the thing about it. The defense is going to give up plays. We averaging like 20-something points, around about 23, 24 points a game. But the defense, and now, Marty Martin, we're probably going to try to do the same thing that he did before, is blitz Sam Howell, all of this stuff, disrupt them. But if we cannot beat a depleted Giants team next week, I don't care what the rest of the season look like. Somebody needs to be fired. That's just a simple fact of the matter is somebody needs to be fired. There ain't no way in the world that you could continue to go through the whole season and talk about, oh, we trying to win games. Okay, Ron Rivera, you burnt a timeout after an incomplete pass for no reason. Instead of get the play in it. Eric Bieniemy, y'all got to show a sense of urgency. Hey, Sam, let's roll, let's get it. Now, we did get the touchdown to tie the game, but I'm saying no sense of urgency because Ron Rivera, a couple of things with him. His time management is bad. He don't know when to challenge. If he challenges at the wrong time, and then if he do challenge, he doesn't win the challenge. Then if he go forward on 4th down, he doesn't get it, or he sends they had the wrong play, wrong personnel in it for the play to score. So there's a whole multitude of things that Ron Rivera is, responsible for. And me personally, if I was Josh Harris, I would say, hey, look, your defensive coordinator got to go. You're going to have to take over the defense for the rest, for the future, for right now. And we moving Eric Bieniemy as the head coach. Since he's the assistant head coach, move him into that head coaching role. Allow him to, continue to work with Sam Howell and see what Ron Rivera could get out of his defense from this point. But I don't even know if it can, man, because even if we had Chase or Montez, we probably still would lose this game. So what difference does it make if we had Chase or Montez there? That's what I'm saying. It's not the defensive line. It is the secondary that's bad. Look at it. St. Jude's is bad. He was good last year. He's holding and getting penalties. Look at Kendall Fuller. He's been productive as a corner, but he can't do a lot of things either. Then our safeties, with Derek Forrest went down, that kind of hurt a little bit. But Cam Curl, he's supposed to be getting a contract year. Honestly, I don't even see that happen because he hasn't had a good year either. So there's going to be a lot of different personnel on that defense, especially on that back end. That's going to affect a lot of things going forward in the future. I think our offense will be fine. Still need to get depth on the offensive line. We need to get a real dog of a tight end. I think that's the only thing. Wide receiver wise, I think we need to get a big body wide receiver that can stretch the field, that's really, really fast. Someone that could, give Terry and Jahan a little bit more. I'll let Curtis Samuels walk this year. I will not pay him. Tony Gibson, I'll let him walk too. You got Rodriguez in there. There's a lot of things that you can do. If you need another wide receiver. I don't know what the situation with De'Ami Brown, but we need a receiver. We need a big body receiver that could draw pass interferences and stuff like that. Then I help Terry or somebody else. Being honest, there could be a lot of changes to this team going into next year. But I wouldn't do nothing with Terry or Jahan, you know what I'm saying, on the offensive side. Logan Thomas got to go. John Bates, he could probably still make the roster as a blocking tight end. We need a dog of a tight end. We need tight end linemen, offensive linemen. Then we need to look for secondary help. Starting cornerbacks that could start in games. Safeties. Kyle Hamilton for Baltimore got an interception return for a touchdown. And guess what? He was supposed to. If we had picked him, we would have had our safety. If we had picked Christian Gonzalez, we would have had our starting cornerback. These are the areas that we don't hit on. So, but anyway, there won't be a show tomorrow. Watch the Commanders, the aftermath. Unfortunately, my co-host has something to do, and I definitely have something to do. But I will drop a video on Jack Del Rio tomorrow, why Jack Del Rio should be fired. So stay tuned for that video tomorrow. But unless that, man, it's the efforts of this team, man. Games that we should be winning, we not winning. They talk about winning and trying to make the playoff, but if you can't make the playoffs, if you're not winning games that you should be winning by giving up all these yardage, how you gonna make the playoffs? Because guess what? You make the playoffs, you're gonna get put out the first round anyway because you can't stop nobody. I mean, it don't matter. Sam Howell could have put up for 500 yards passing, but still lose the game. And then all of that offensive power and energy is wasted for nothing. But anyway, this your boy Livewire Sports Media. I'm out. Peace.